Okay. Portrait vocabulary. Number 1, a portrait is a picture of a person or a group of people. Filtrum, and you see how it's spelled, is the dent right under your nose. Cartilage, tough, elastic substance forming parts of the skeleton of vertebrates. Your ears and the ball of your nose, it should be are made of cartilage, shouldn't it? Because it's plural. Nostrils or nose holes. Your eye length is the unit of measurement that we're going to use. Profile view is when you look and just see the side of the face. 3/4 view is when somebody's turned and you see most of their face but not all of it. Next page. It says draw a face on this paper with Mrs. Ward. First thing I want you to do is fold it in half like we did last time. Draw a light line on the crease where the halfway mark is so that you can go by it. Excuse me. Now, I suppose if you wanted your face exactly in the middle, you could fold it the other way. And there's where the center would be. And your first eyeball is not going to be right on the crease line. You're going to go over a little bit. And we talked about how your eyeball is the shape of a football. So draw your first eyeball. And don't make it too small. I'd rather have it closer to life size than microscopic. Okay, and we're going to measure the length of the eyeball. I'm going to put the corner of my little measure sheet on one corner, and I'm going to mark where the other corner is. So there's one eye length. Is everybody caught up? There should be one eye length between the eyes. That's from the corner of the eye, and that will tell you where the other corner of the eye should be. Now I need to know where to stop the eye. So if I put my unit of measurement on the mark that I just made, it tells me where the other eye should end. So I have one eye length here, one eye length here, and one eye length here. And I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit, but if I get off the screen, let me know. Okay. We talked about that little tear duct thing in the corner of your eye right there. We talked about your iris, which is the colored part of your eye, and how usually your eyelids cover the top part and sometimes the bottom part, depending on who you are. So when you draw the iris, instead of drawing a circle, you want to draw a circle that looks like it's been cut off a little bit. If you draw a full circle, it'll look like a zombie. And we will shade the pupils in later. If you put pupils now, it'll look sort of weird. Eyelids are like that blind. When you close your eyes, it's pulling the blind down. When you open them, it's rolling it back up. and it makes a line. Sometimes it's a geometric line, sometimes it's a curvy line, depending on who you're drawing. We talked about eyebrows, and usually eyebrows are diagonal from the corners of the eyes. And it depends on who you're drawing, because everybody's eyebrows are different. But if you put them up too high, you'll look surprised or scared. If you put them down too low, you'll look sad or mean. So some people's eyebrows are curved. Usually your eyebrows are a little thicker here toward the corner of the eye. Some people's eyebrows are just straight across. Some people have very thin eyebrows. Some people have very thick eyebrows. It depends on who you're drawing. The purpose of the eyebrows and the eyelashes are to keep dust out of your eyes. If I'm actually drawing a real person, I sort of put the shape that I see and then I fill it in. Eyelashes on the right eye, I flick toward the right. And on the left eye, I flick toward the left. Yes,
do you have a spare eraser? Because this one isn't doing the job.
I do gotta give everybody a chance to get caught up. Okay, we talked about your nose, how right between the eyes is where the bone is, but the ball of the nose is cartilage. The ball of the nose is exactly one eye length from between the center of the eyes. That would be the very tip of the ball of your nose. Then we have nose holes that need to go underneath. So I'm going to put a line. That's where I want my nose to end. The width of the nose is from the inside corners of the eyes straight down. And try to keep your measurement paper straight up and down so your nose won't slant sideways. So your nose is straight down from the corners of your eyes. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. We also talked about how your nostrils are separated by a flap of cartilage. And that's how I like to separate the middle part of the nose, is with that little flap of cartilage. The sides of your nose, these sides, are like the letter C. And depending on who you draw, some people have a capital C and some people have a lowercase c. But the C has to hit the side measurement and the bottom measurement. The side measurement and the bottom measurement. We talked about how nose holes are bigger than what you think, and sometimes they're a geometric shape when you're looking at somebody, and sometimes they're a teardrop shape. but the nose holes almost cradle into the capital or small case C without touching it. Your filtrum is the little dent right under your nose, and the length of it, or how tall it is the same as your eye from top to bottom. From top to bottom, and put on the bottom of the nose, and I know my filtrum's going to stop about right there. So I measured, I guess I would be measuring the height of the open eye and putting it on the bottom of the nose. We talked about how the filtrum is shaped like a man's tie. Some people have really wide filtrums and some people have really skinny filtrums. But you gently come out and then point back in at your measurement mark. Your mouth. When you're drawing somebody, they usually aren't smiling because they can't stay the same for that long. When you smile, it stretches your mouth out this way. Okay? So, a regular mouth that's not smiling, but it's not doing anything else either. It's not pouting or anything, it's just a normal, is from the inside of the iris straight down on both sides. Inside of the iris straight down. The iris is the circle of color in the eyes.
Do you have to make your line longer on the nose thing so that it like equal up with the iris? Or no?
Your nose doesn't equal up with the iris. Excuse me. I did the center one. Okay, bye-bye. No, actually, it's Gabby's turn. No.
Next, it's
While
my
you're
turn.
walking that way, we'll shut the door so you don't hear. Okay. For the mouth part, the easiest way that I've found to do the mouth is to come up the filtrum and then gently angle down until you hit the measurement mark that you have. And a lot depends on the person's mouth. If they have pouty lips, this angle goes down a lot faster. And some people have more straight lips. That's just the top of the top lip. When you close your mouth, there's a very dark line, and it's not a straight line. It has little waves in it. And the biggest wave is right under the filtrum. So that's your top lip. Your bottom lip is usually the thicker of the two, although that's not always true. So I like to come down the middle, decide where I think the lower lip should end, and I put a little mark. And the easiest way to get them to look the same on both sides is to come from the corner of the mouth and angle down to the mark that you made. From the corner of the mouth to the mark that you made. Now for the chin, from the bottom of the bottom lip to the bottom of the chin is exactly 1 eye length turned vertically. So if you use your little measurement paper and you put it on the bottom of the bottom lip, then I know that my chin is going to be somewhere close to here. From the corner of the mouth to the outside of the cheek is 1 eye length horizontally. The other corner of the mouth to the other cheek is 1 eye length. So I have 1 vertical eye length here, a horizontal here, a horizontal here. For the temple, it's not a whole eye length, it's a half. So I look at my unit of measurement and decide where halfway is. And I make a mark. And usually the eyebrows would like point to it almost. The last time we talked about the structure of your face. Where your temple is sort of sinks in. Where your cheekbones are sort of goes out. Where the soft part of your jaw is sort of sinks in. And where your jawbone is, it sort of goes out. So we talked about the temple and then gently coming out just a little bit to show where the cheekbone is. Gently swinging back in. Here's the jawbone. It's always right across from the corner of the mouth. And then on down to the chin. Temple. Cheekbone. Jawbone. Chin. And hopefully the one you did today looks better than the one you did last week.
No.
Yes.
No.
One thing will look better than mine.
Yes.
Tip of my lips now, that's what I'm
My guy gets a butt shit.
Your ears, the bottom of your ears are generally somewhere around where the bottom of your nose is. It's different for everybody, so you need to, whoever you're drawing, you need to double check. The top of the ears is somewhere between the eyebrow and the eye. But like I said, you want to look at the person you're drawing and make sure. Spit your gum out, please. Your neck. If you cross over to where your jawbone is and slide down just a little bit, it's almost halfway. Your neck is going to gently curve out. Follow the jawbone down just a little bit and gently curve out for the neck. It's usually somewhere between halfway, unless you're a football player. Then it'll be a lot wider.
Why?
I don't know. They just have wide necks. I guess.
You have no name.
What?
trying to make my own. She's not Dumbo. It's on my scalp.
Your ears, generic ears, are like a question mark. And then there's that little cuff thing happening.
That's what I said, but I can't get her to not put Dumbo.
Now the ears don't match.
Why am I calling it a heart already?
Now my ears are.
Looks feminine.
Your chin's too long.
Oh no.
The part that people lose the most points on is the top of the head. From the nose bone, right in the middle of the eyes, to where the chin is the same distance as the nose bone to where the very tip top of your head is.
So nose bone to chin.
Nose bone to chin, and then nose bone to the very tip top, and that's the top up here. It's not down here. It's when you're being measured to see how tall you are at the doctor's office. It's where that little thing hits.
Well, shall we measure from like really from the little circles are?
Oh my.
You measure from the nose bone to the chin.
Alright.
And it's,
She looks unproportional whenever I do this.
now, we talked last time about how you were taught in elementary school that the head is the shape of an egg, with the larger part of the egg, the place where the hair goes. We have drawn this whole bottom half right here. And the part that's left looks like a half circle. So if you come straight down, you're going to have a cone head. So you have to think round. You have to think half circle.
Don't worry.
And your head is actually going to go right behind your ear a little bit.
I've got.
Now,
Look at mine, Richie.
Look at mother. Jackson.
Looks like a little tree now.
Oh my god.
Leanne, let me see.
No, it's actually
Richie's looks like a volcano.
now,
I'm
I gave each of you a set of different kinds of hairdos. But before we go to those, we didn't get to this part last time.
I'm not gonna do
Your
it.
hairline, the place where your hair starts growing out of your head, is 2 eye lengths up from the middle of the nose. So there's 1 eye length and 2 eye lengths.
Oh, now it's flat.
This is the hairline, where hair starts to grow out of your forehead.
Miss Ward, how'd you get those 2 marks to do? Well, they're in my head.
1 eye length from the middle where the nose bone is, 2 eye lengths. It's 2 eye lengths up. Now the paper that I gave you has 8 different hairstyles. The first one is bald, which is where you are right now. The second one is a buzz cut, or a shorter cut, where you don't have bangs. This is the line that we just found out where it was, but I want you to notice that your hair grows in a certain pattern. Okay, it comes down the sides and in front of the ears. Parting the hair, we've gotten the same hair pattern, but if I wanted to part it in the middle, it would be a line in the middle. Parted on the right would be a slanted line to the right. Parting on the left would be a slanted line to the left. If your hair's pulled back in a ponytail, if I have to look up and see you three again, it's an infraction, and I'm calling home. If your hair's pulled back in a ponytail, it's almost like a vanishing point right here. And the lines come out from the vanishing point for the bangs. But once we get past the bangs, it sweeps across and goes out. On the other side, there's a mohawk. A mohawk has the same hairline here, and the hair is just going to keep going up until it fills up and goes all the way. The end of these lines are going to go to where they're ended at the back of the head. Bangs, vanishing point, and come down. And how long the bangs are depends on who you're drawing. So I always look at their eyebrows and see if the bangs come down to their eyebrows or not. If they come lower, I draw them lower. If they're shorter and I can see their whole eyebrow, then I make sure I can do that on here. Long hair, no bangs. Part, and the hair comes down. I can't tell you how many times, I'm not kidding, they do this. And it ends up looking like a witch. Okay? Your hair grows out of your part in a curve, and then it comes down, even like the sides of your face. And it covers your ears. It doesn't go out. It comes down.
Can we have a side part in that?
Yes. Long hair with bangs, same thing, except there's a vanishing point here for the bangs. I want you to pick the hairstyle that most closely resembles your own and put it on your person.
Cody, yeah. Long hair with bangs, yeah.
Well, that's like
I changed my head.
Hey, Jackson.
It's the chin.
Mine looks like a football.
Then
I'll just leave my guy's ball.
it's going to come
I like the ball. Thanks.
And that almost looks like hair.
Holy shit.
He's hurt.
I'm fine, I tipped over.
I can see that. Keep all 4 feet on the floor of your stool, please. I'm going to come around and see how you're doing.